Cars 2. Can you review Cars 2? Because it's been the worst reviewed Pixar movie to date, and I find that shocking. Rotten Tomatoes gives it a 48% rotten?
I gotta tell you, I'm not looking forward to this one. I really am not. If this ends up being bad, Man, I hope this one isn't bad. Cars 2. Now, here's the thing. I haven't seen this movie yet, but it already has a 48% rotten review on RottenTomatoes.com. And that legitimately scares me. And you know, I will admit, looking at the preview, yeah, the whole idea is the cars is like special agents and explosions flying around, Gatling guns on the sides and stuff like that. That does seem a little out of place. It's kind of like, what, did the writers get high at a Transformers convention or something like that? But here's the reason why I am afraid to review this movie, okay? DreamWorks, yeah, they've made some good movies, but they've also made a couple of mediocre bombs as well. For crying out loud, leave Shrek alone! Sony Pictures, have they even made one good movie? Name one good movie that Sony Pictures has ever made. There's been a lot of crappy animated movies, but Pixar has always been the beacon of light. Pixar has made movie after movie after movie after movie after movie, and every single one of them has been awesome, funny, and totally great for the kids and for adults alike. So to hear that one movie that Pixar actually made wasn't good, that kind of scares me. I saw Toy Story when it came out into the theaters. I've been with Pixar since day one. I grew up with them. So this is legitimately scary for me. Well, guys, I'm hoping for the best. I'm about to go see this movie. I'll see you in a couple of hours. I'm hoping for the best. I'm hoping that just a bunch of people on Rotten Tomatoes or something like that were like the nitpicky kind of like how I was with Iron Man 2, unfortunately. But, you know, I'm just hoping that it's a bunch of naysayers and that this is actually okay. Oh, please! Please let this be good! I'll see you in a couple of hours. Be afraid, good people. Be very afraid. Pixar has made a subpar movie. So, good people, let's begin the review. Now, please keep in mind with everything that I'm about to bring up in this movie, about this movie and everything like that, keep in mind, like I said before at the beginning of this, I was hoping for the best. I was one of those people who went into this movie was trying to think, please be good, please be good, please be good. And I can't say that it was good. Now, with everything that is wrong about this movie, let me go ahead and bring up the one shining moment that I thought was actually pretty cool about this movie. And this is towards the beginning as well, so I don't think this really is a spoiler alert. But if any of you guys are a fan of Deadliest Catch, you are going to be in for a treat right at the beginning of this movie. And the reason for that is because the Northwestern from Deadliest Catch is in this movie, and Sig Hansen, the captain, does the voice for the Northwestern. Just for a couple of minutes, that was pretty freaking cool, and I was like, oh wow, this is off to a good start. But boy, did it turn right after that. So right after that, though, you're introduced to the main car, who's like the main spy car and everything like that, and he's got like all these gadgets and guns under the hood and everything like that. You know, it's all like that. But, and, you know, the thing is that if this was its own separate movie, I would be okay with that. But this is Cars 2. The first Cars has already set the tone. Bringing up something like this, like spy cars and everything like that, It's kind of like jumping the shark, you know? For anybody who's unfamiliar with that quote, go check it out on Wikipedia. For anybody who does know that quote, did I just use it right? Now, the whole spy cars aspect of it wouldn't be so bad if that was the only thing going on in the movie, but Lightning McQueen is still in this movie as well, and he is actually going on this European circuit, this European Grand Prix, and he's going up against an IndyCar or whatever, which in and of itself sounds like a pretty cool concept. It's like a Gran Turismo or Forza Motorsports or something like that. That's actually a pretty cool idea. But here's the main problem with this movie as well. This movie, it feels like it's trying to tell two very different stories. You got the one story, which is the spy cars and them investigating stuff like that, and somehow Mater, of all people, gets involved in this, and so it's another one of those misunderstanding stories where, you know, it's like, you are the American informant that we have been looking for. I am? Yes, you must come with us right now, or else you will die. Okay. You're not the spy? I thought I made that abundantly clear. How did you make that abundantly clear? About the time we were hogtied to an oil tanker and I kept telling you, hey, I'm not a spy! Yeah, maybe I should have paid attention to that. And all while that's going on, Lightning McQueen is over in the other side of this story, competing against all these different European cars and this one Indy car and everything like that. And there's some sort of talk about the, there's some sort of talk in this movie about alternative fuels. Alternative fuels is brought up in a Pixar movie. I kid you not, the minute they started talking about alternative fuels and how there's this one guy who's trying to promote it and that's why the whole Grand Prix is going on, I literally did this. Ugh! Now, on top of that being brought up into the movie, there's just, I'll be honest, there's just a whole lot of weirdness in this movie. I mean, with the first Cars, the cars were actually cars, you know, they were on Route 66, they were, you know, they were NASCAR, and then there were regular cars, and, you know, there was a blimp in there and stuff like that. In this movie, you have cars as mobsters, cars as geishas, cars as sumo wrestlers, cars as, like, mad scientists and stuff like that. The whole thing just feels really off and really far away from the original tone that the first movie set. So to be completely honest, there really isn't a whole lot else to talk about unless I want to give away a bunch of spoilers, but most of the things that are wrong with this movie stems from the two storylines that are going on in this movie. It's like, you got the one story with the Grand Prix, and then you got the one story with the spy cars and Mater and everything like that, and it's like they just keep going and going and going so far away from each other, they go out like this, and then towards the end, it's like, oh wait, this all needs to tie in somehow, so the ending feels like a car crash. I will say this though, probably the one thing that did me in realizing that, okay, no, this is a subpar Pixar movie was, you remember Doc, the Hudson Hornet, the guy who played like a really important role in the last movie and stuff like that? Yeah, he's not in this movie, and they never explain why. What the crap, movie? What the crap? I don't want to give anything else away, so let's go ahead and wrap this up. It's really sad because this movie had two ideas in here, two stories that one would have been, okay, the second one would have been, okay, that would have been good sequel material, but instead they decided to play both of them at the same time. It almost feels like two writers were in on this movie, and they just couldn't agree on what was gonna be in this movie, kind of like this. Hey there, boss. Here's my idea for the new Cars 2 movie. It's kind of cool because it stays in the same tone as the original movie, you know, with the racing and everything like that. So I figured, we've already done NASCAR, we've already done Route 66, so in staying true with the racing, why don't we go with a European Grand Prix, kind of like Gran Turismo, and it'll be racing, and he'll be up against Formula 1 cars and Indy cars and everything like that, and it'll be really cool, and it'll be another film that both kids and adults will enjoy quite a bit. Well now, interesting concept, going over to the UK, going against Indy cars, McQueen's the main character, good story, it stays with the original plot. I'll definitely consider it. Good work. Now, where's my other writer? Does she make money bags? What up, boss man? Here's my project. Okay, here's the thing, short and sweet. Kids already like cars. We want to sell more Cars merchandise so that we can make a whole lot of money. So, let's just tap into Transformers a little bit, give them some Gatling guns, some explosions, make them spy cars and everything like that. Make it really cool, make it awesome, make it that kids are going to want to buy these toys because now they're not just cars, they're cars with Gatling guns and jet wings and rocket packs and everything else like that. We're gonna make a fortune off of this! Make money bags? Are you sure that this is gonna work? I figure Transformers is doing it, why can't we? An excellent point. If you will both excuse me, I believe I need to talk with my advisor. There's Cars 2. Go ahead. Yeah, it feels kind of like that. Cars 2 ended up being a car wreck. 2 out of 5.